Hello everybody and welcome to this video of myself and Mr. Simon Bates.
Hello.
And today we are looking at this Eastman 652RL alto saxophone. So the Eastman brand is fairly new. They've kind of burst onto the scene, shall we say. Very big in the States, seemingly. And now we've started getting some over here in the UK. We actually started with the tenor first, which is the one that Bob Mintzer has been playing and is sort of associated with. And obviously it makes sense for us to then take the alto in and have a look at that. So we'll get a little bit of specs after, but I just want to get Simon to give it a little blow first, and then we'll get into some of the things on there. Okay, so just Simon, first impressions before we get into the spec.
Yeah, blows okay. It's quite a bright sound, fairly focused. Feels all right. A couple of key differences from what I'm used to, but I'm sure I would get used to it. It looks quite industrial.
Industrial, that's a very good word. Yes, it's got this unlacquered kind of raw look to it, shall we say?
Yeah, you can see all the solder and stuff. So if you're into that, it's a very striking looking instrument. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people have got into the unlacquered thing recently, and I think if you're going to unlacquer it, leave it unlacquered like this is. It's my opinion, but it's got that raw kind of feel. I would just point out a few little spec things, some of which are quite interesting. So first up, it has quite a big bell, so the actual flare of the bell is very late and wide. And so Simon mentioned about that focused, and sometimes that's a good way to get that, and also to get some brightness and punch to the sound. It's a hand-hammered bell like you would find on many upper and mid and pro-end saxophones as well. Couple of little things, metal resonators, so that means on the pads they all have a resonator on them. Some manufacturers use plastic, some use metal. It's not necessarily better or worse, but the metal tends to make the saxophone sound a bit brighter, basically.
Indeed they do, yeah.
As they do on, say, the Yamaha 82Z now, they use metal resonators. Rolled tone holes. So that's something that is not new. Many vintage saxophones had rolled tone holes, but modern-wise, only Carlworth, the German manufacturer, made rolled tone holes. And that's usually done by the tone hole itself just being rolled over, or you can solder a ring on as well. The idea of that is to actually change the immediacy of the sound. I don't know if you would agree, Simon, but they tend to be very immediate sounding rolled tone holes.
Yes, they do, yeah.
And you just blow into it and boom, the sound's there straight away. It does prolong the life of the pads, but it does make it a tiny bit harder actually to seat the pads. Some repairers feel that anyway. A little bit more on the spec. They've got adjustable palm key risers, so you can actually adjust those up or down. Again, like the Carlworth. And again, the Carlworth had a big bell, so you may be getting some idea of where they got some of these ideas from. I won't say any more. But no, it's interesting because that style of sound is quite different to maybe a Yanagisawa or a Yamaha or something like that. Yeah. So all in all, something new, something in this mid and upper end area price-wise, which is a very busy area for saxophones with Yamaha, Yanagisawa, Cannonball, maybe things to think about as well. But Simon, any other thoughts before we go on that?
Yeah, it's a nice kind of mid-price saxophone, I guess. It looks good. It blows well. It's got a very free sound.
So if you were maybe doing something more on the jazzier commercial end of things, it's not a classical saxophone.
No, I wouldn't have said so, yeah.
And a lot of people use those Carlworths with a similar spec for the pop end of things, really. So yeah, maybe let's hear a little bit more. Yeah,
I mean, it's quite heavyweight compared to some of the more vintage saxophones, but, that's not a bad thing.
No, it's got actually, I should point out, sorry, the low double arms on the low keys as well, which is quite nice. Just helps those big pads seat correctly if you've got two arms bringing them down, so there's not that little bounce. But it does add weight, and Simon's right, that adds weight to the body, and that will then affect the sound of it as well.
No, it adds weight to the sound, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, let's have a little bit more.